What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of East Meets West. I'm your host, Fanchel Jake. As always, with my two co-hosts, Commissioner Bell and the owner of the Wissinoming Radskins, Matthew Radke. Week 6 is in the books, and what a fantastic week of fantasy football we had. For the second time ever, we had a team on the wrong side of 50 points. It took until a Monday afternoon game, but we had a team in the West continue the request for a perfect season. Out in the East, we have a complete mess. Is it a competitive division or is it just mediocre? And for the high of the week, it came down to Monday Night Football, the last 2 minutes, and the commissioner over here took away the $15. So obviously we have a jam-packed show, so we're going to dive right into it. We're going to start with the Globo Gym Purple Cobras going up against B-Block's finest.
Way to get through that.
Injuries. We're going to start with Christian McCaffrey, continues to be on the IR. Mike Davis got hurt during the game. Is questionable right now going into this week, and Dalvin Cook was out. For Globo Gym, Watson had another 20-point performance, and Higgins proved to be a big pickup, a little less than 16 points. For Steve, A.J. Brown had a big day, a little less than 21. Kelsey, Cooper, and Connor combined for a little less than 55 points. Steve came away with the win, moved to 3-3. Myself falling to 3-3. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, the East gets tight. Also, I think I know why that was so tough for you to get out. At one point, you said the team in the West continues his quest to become the best, and then said, "This is a mess."
She sells seashells by the seashore.
That's why I was laughing.
I got through that pretty good.
We can fact check that on the video, but I'm pretty sure you rhymed at least 3 or 4 times there.
I'm glad we did it 4 times then, because if they came out that way. All right.
Yeah.
Thoughts
All
on the
right. You versus Steve.
Me versus Steve.
It was a
Steve coming close to the high of the week. I think he put up 126 points.
Cooper continued. I mean, looks like a good trade for him. He's got the running backs to start. I think you were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
He now gets a receiver to plug in as well to go along with him. He doesn't have to start. Although Crowder has been very good, don't get me wrong. I mean, rather Cooper. They're going to be throwing the ball. Their defense is atrocious. So, yeah, good win by Steve. Gets Dalvin Cook coming back next week, hopefully after the bye. So a win without Dalvin Cook. It's kind of like when you getting wins without Christian McCaffrey. It always feels good.
It's a bonus. You want to just keep them rolling. Any thoughts on the divisional game? I'm sorry.
Divisional game. I mean, Steve's team's looking great right now.
Yes.
I mean, like you said, something about Crowder didn't have a great week, but if you look at his bench, he had 3 guys scored 15 or more, all receivers. Like, he has no problems in the receiver department right now.
Also, A.J. Brown is a monster.
Yes.
That dude is a beast.
That touchdown at the end of the game was very nice.
Are the Titans the best team in the NFL?
Yeah. No. We'll see. They play the Steelers. They get no love across the board, though. I think the NFL power rankings have them like 6th or 7th. ESPN has them like, I think like 7th or 8th. Like, they have Baltimore, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Green Bay still, I think, Seattle all above them, like, by a wide margin. So they get no love, but
so I got a little pushback on this last week. I'll ask it again about Steve's team. Does he have the best running backs in the league?
Best running backs?
Yes.
I don't think so. No, I still think that, I mean, Mike
Best
has
1-2?
so much depth.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah.
If you're looking for the best 1-2, I'd probably say
Who? Cook and...
and Connor.
Yeah,
And then you add in Freeman. I mean, he's he's a solid.
You'd rather have Cook and Connor over Henry and Sanders?
Henry. Well, I mean, Sanders.
It's basically
Sanders
Henry.
hurt
So is Cook.
Yeah.
Huh?
So is Cook.
Yeah, but Cook's also on bye.
Yeah, Sanders is. I mean, they're basically the same injury.
So does Steve have the best?
Yeah,
running backs
but
in the league?
it's
You
not.
say
It's
no,
not
you
the same.
say-
It's not the same injury.
It is though.
It's not.
I mean, it's a 1 to 2 week injury. Same shit.
Yeah. No, I still think that Steve's first 2 are better.
I would take Mike's. I would take. Maybe not. I don't know. Steve's. He has good running backs. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he does.
But I don't know about best 2. Would you rather? This is me being kind of selfish, but would you rather Connor and Cook or Hunt and Carson?
Connor.
Connor and Cook.
Personally.
Yeah.
Considering injuries and everything right now, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Personally. The way my roster is constructed, if I had, you know what I mean, if I added them, I'd probably be in the same position. Basically looking forward.
Yeah, I mean
to
the
getting in the
positional rankings have. I think Hunt and Carson are like 5 and 6, and then something like that, and then Connor is like 17, and Cook's like 3 or 4. So.
For the Cobras, is McKissick a
Yes.
good fill-in for RB2 to get them through the rest of the season to make a run.
No. He's a good villain.
I mean,
That's
is
good
that the player? Is that the piece that I've been
need
asking
him for? Like you realistically need a flex player in your RB2 spot.
Is that what we
For
think
when
too?
you're, yeah,
with the
So,
three
like,
wide receivers? Yeah,
with the
whenever-
3 wide receivers, yeah, when everyone is healthy and you finally get a full team put together.
Did you not start him?
For those unaware, Jake, who are your 3 wide receivers?
Lockett, Godwin, and Galladay. If anybody wants one.
The guy, I mean, J.D. McKissick hasn't caught less than 6 passes.
No, I didn't
for
start
3
last
straight
week. I
weeks.
started Peterson, and
Yeah.
he scored a
That's fine,
touchdown.
yeah.
So basically broke even on that.
But yeah, McKissick, just receptions alone, he's starting to get some. Last week he got some rushes as well, but 7 catches, 6 catches, 6 catches.
Yeah, so I was about to say, I think it's been
Yeah,
like
it's
3 straight weeks.
consistent,
with
it's
these,
good.
yeah. And he's been taking carries.
Yeah,
which is-
he had 8 carries this
Yeah,
week.
which is nice. And I think he had the majority of the time on the field. Could be wrong about that.
And it could happen quite a bit because that was the Giants and he had that time. They're going to be losing.
Yeah, and
And he's
Peyton Barber experiment's over. That's done.
Oh,
Owen
yeah,
him,
yeah.
and I think Cam Akers I think he did have a couple carries.
Well,
Um,
Cam Akers also doesn't play for the team.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Cam Akers. Who was the other running back there? I don't know. Why I said Cam Akers.
Bryce Love?
Bryce Love,
Someone else got carries. I forget who the hell it was.
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, no, them two, and then there's
He'll-
another one. That
He'll
was
get carries.
But anyway, fuck it. Moving on. Going on to Jose Hooligans going up against the
Darius
Fanatics.
Geis, what were you thinking about?
No, I was not thinking about it.
He's
I'll figure it out after the show. Going with injuries, Fournette suited up but did not play. Font out, and Sanders got hurt during the game, and it looks like he's going to miss a couple weeks.
What was that? Was it an MCL sprain? Is that what it is?
I think so.
MCL sprain for Sanders? Okay.
For Jose, Madison did not produce nearly as much as he wanted to at less than 4 points. And as far as his wide receivers, Beckham and Hill combined for 7.5 points. As far as Mike goes, I think we can just say Derrick Henry, a little less than 40 points, basically
He's a
won
monster.
him this game. I guess he did win him this game. His tight end, flex, kicker, and defense combined for less than 13 points. So that tells you exactly what Derrick Henry did this week for him.
Henry's threw his bye, right, because of COVID, and I'm pretty sure he has over 100 yards more than any other rusher.
That's
That's
disgusting.
It's unbelievable.
That's absolutely ridiculous. The one thing I didn't mention for Jose though, I talk about it a lot.
6 touchdowns.
The Gaskin pickup, dude. That dude keeps hitting every week, and that's a huge pickup for $0. That's
God.
up there for pickup of the year.
Thank God he's on bye this week.
Thoughts on the game, Matt?
I thought it was good. I mean, I felt bad for Mike when Sanders got hurt, but I mean, join the club because everybody else lost their first round pick. It feels like.
This one came down to the Monday afternoon, right? You guys had nobody in the Monday night game. I believe it was just the.
It was the early one. It was
Yeah,
Josh
yeah,
Allen
yeah.
against
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and Josh Allen.
Sloppy.
And it was
game.
close.
Josh
for a while.
Allen had a bad game.
Yeah, I think it was real
he
close
still got
for a while.
15.
It was a really sloppy game.
Yeah, it was just gross. But
Raining.
it was just the weather. Yeah, the weather is what made everything just awful. But no, I mean, Mike, is this your worst performance that you've had, and you still managed to pull away with a
I
win?
think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'll say too, like we talked about it last week. Jose has a very high
Had boomer bust
ceiling
team,
team.
yeah.
He didn't get the game out of Odell. He didn't get the game out of Tyreek. He scored under 100 points.
Mhm.
So you're gonna see
That's a good way to put it.
you're gonna see these games from him. I think personally, where he's gonna put up 150, and you're gonna have the 80 to 90.
Well, in his defense, Kamara was also on bye.
I mean, yeah, he was. If you plug
yeah, but
in,
another thing is too, like
Who are you starting?
He had his defense got him 20 of them points.
Yeah.
Which means like his team in general did
Very high
not do
ceiling,
very
low
well.
floor.
Yeah.
Well, to go off Joe's comment there, after back-to-back sub 100-point games, should there be anything to worry about for Jose?
No, I don't think
It's a
so.
tight division right now, 2 through,
It's
I guess 2 through 6,
2
but
through.
is tight. But I guess we can kind of start taking people out, right? Maybe not Tommy out.
no, I mean,
Well,
same
that
record as me.
division,
so-
division
No,
odds
as
and
of-
playoff
as
odds will
of-
come out next week, so
Yeah.
we'll see where he stands.
As of right now, like I think he's kind of fine. He just needs to get past this week, I think, and even if he loses, he still just needs to keep his points
Jose?
relevant.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because then
yes.
he'll have Kamara and Gaskin, and he won't have to worry
That's
about
another
the
side.
running back problem for a bit.
He has a shit ton of points too.
Yeah.
So I mean, even with the back-to-back under 100,
I
he's
believe he
still.
still leads the league. in
Oh
points.
yeah, by
716.
by 14 points over mine.
Yeah. So yeah, like he isn't gonna have too much of an issue. Like even if he does have a bad week this week,
God, I hope so.
he'll be fine going forward.
I'll tell you what, still playing Jose, like boomer bust, it's scary shit to play
Yeah,
Jose
it's
every
scary.
week. You never know.
Yeah,
if he's
because when
gonna
he
go
booms, it's for like 140.
off. Yeah, like Tyree can just come down with 3 touchdowns or something.
So as far as the sanitation department goes, at 6-0, they have the record. I believe they set the record last week, so they're just adding on to it. First, the best start in league history. Looking at their schedule, let me see if I can get their schedule up here. Where do we see a loss, or do we think?
I got it. So it's Tom. He actually goes. We were talking about this because Mike and I were actually building the schedule. He was at my house. We were doing it. He goes. There's a time in the season now. He goes Jose Tommy, Jose Tommy.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a back-to-back and then a back-to-back game.
All right.
So does he get through Tommy this week? I think
We'll get into that a little
I think
later.
we'll get into that. Yeah, Jose is right around the corner again next week. I think that's a scary matchup. Then
Yeah.
after Tommy again, he goes me. This is where I would say not again. My team's not very good at all right now. He goes me, Steve, Alex. I think Steve, Alex.
There's a
right?
loss somewhere in there.
No, I don't know about loss, but Steve's team is coming together. Alex's team is coming together. They're both really hot.
All right. So if you had to put a percentage on a perfect season, perfect regular season,
1%.
1%.
Yeah.
You don't think it's gonna happen?
I don't think it's gonna
It
happen.
takes too much in a year like this
Yeah.
year too. Like you have to.
Yeah, like
Catch
he
some
could
breaks.
get struck with another injury, or a COVID situation could
COVID.
pop up, and
COVID
just literally
could pop up.
it could just ruin a week for
A
him.
wild COVID
A
appeared.
whole COVID could just ruin
Hulk COVID.
Hulk COVID, yeah, Hulk COVID.
Well, yeah, like I said, 6-0, best start ever to start a season in our league. So congratulations to Mike, and we'll see. We'll talk about it later. See if we can add on to that. Going on to our next matchup, it's going to be both sides of the bond against Wissinoming Radskins. I'm actually just going to let you guys take this one
We
away.
don't have to talk about this one if you.
So you want,
How do you feel, Matt?
I knew I was gonna lose. I didn't. I was hoping to put up 100 points, and Joe, the early part of the 1 o'clock games was giving me a lot of hope because you had nothing going for you right then, and then
Yeah.
things just started happening.
There was a point, I think it was like halftime of the Eagles game,
I was
when
predicted to beat you.
Matt was projected to beat me 102 to 101.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it, and I think in like a 4-minute span, finally, touchdown strings went my way
Yeah.
this year.
A lot.
I feel like they happen to me so often early in the year where opponents were just getting non-stop touchdowns, so bound to happen.
Yeah, and you beat me before like Kenyon didn't even have to play, and you still put up 28.
Yeah, but $15
points.
is nice, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you had that one by the end of Sunday.
And not to hype up Kenyon, but he did look good. Like no one could say he didn't look good. He looked more electric. He started running between the tackles before he was trying to bounce everything outside, get the big home run play. He was taking the 4 or 5 yard gains now, and then he was even before that run, he was still 19 for 90 something in a touchdown. If you take away the 69-yard touchdown, so a lot of people are hating on Kenyon. I'll keep starting him every week.
No, I mean it's really nice though when you go Jets, Dallas, Seattle in like 3 back-to-back games. Like those defenses
Miami.
are terrible.
No, Seattle's really good against the run.
Yeah,
They're like
but,
7th or 6th best in the league against the run.
yeah, but Seattle still lets up a million fucking.
Yeah, they're going to be on the goal line.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
Kyler
think-
Murray
I think he'll be
vultured a
fine.
touchdown as well. He should have had a third one. But-
Yeah, he does that, and then he has a lot of like little 1 yards to D hop too, which will screw you up. But regardless, like high-scoring games is what you want, and Kenyon Drake can catch the ball.
Best 3 running backs in the league on the team.
You gonna
You?
win that?
Yeah, it's me or Mike, right?
Yeah.
You go down to 3. I
Yeah.
imagine, right?
Yeah, I mean you're up there. That is
Can we rebring this conversation back up in a couple weeks?
Yes.
When Chubb's healthy, if he's ever healthy.
3-game slide. What's the concerns? On the roster, do you have any concerns? I mean, we talk about T.Y. Hilton. Your
T.Y. Hilton
receivers
ain't on the
don't.
roster no more.
Your
Well,
I mean,
my
that's what we talked
wide
about, where
receiver
you
2
guys
slot
are-
right
And
now
Arms are
is
being
looking
just
fairly bleak because I
RIP.
got a bunch of guys that are hurt, and they pretend like they want to play this week, and they're like, nah, I'm cool, I don't want to. And then I got the bulk of my buys out of the way, which is nice, and I knew I was probably going to be screwed week 5 and 6, and the Chubb injury just made it a guarantee that I wasn't winning them weeks. The objective this year was to go 4-0 and then be 4-2, and then go on from there. And
That didn't. One game on
Chubb
it.
got hurt and it screwed me up. But for the most part, I'm not concerned with anything that's going on right now.
I know you feel good after high of the week. Any concerns about the team right now? Looks like you're starting Henry Ruggs this week. That's because Hollywood is
Yeah, I
Fleming
have.
and Jefferson.
I have Hollywood.
Well, I guess Jefferson fills in on that wide receiver too now. Right?
He's the wide receiver 5 in the year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. He Jefferson's.
Another
Wide receiver
candidate
6.
for pickup.
He
Wide
is
receiver 6.
wide receiver. Oh, did he? I guess someone
Yeah,
in
it's
Hopkins probably like rejumped him or something in the Monday night. Yeah, so I have Lamar, Justin Tucker, Hollywood Brown, and Justin Jefferson all on bye this week in a big matchup against Jose. But
Yeah.
Any concerns with Kareem Hunt?
no, why?
Got hurt, didn't he?
No, he's been limited on Wednesdays since Lord knows when. Same injury. Injury. He's still gonna play.
Yeah, sure.
It was a nice whooping, and we'll see how Matt bounces back from that. Moving on, we're going to go to Alexander's Greats going up against the Brock football team. Injuries in this game: Mixon played, Mostert ended up getting hurt. I believe he has a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, he'll be out. He'll go on the IR.
Yeah,
He'll be out for a couple weeks.
and Smith hurt, but he played. Mahomes, another big game, over
You're
20
right, American.
points. 6 players under 10 for Alex. I'm sorry, this is all for Alex. And Mixon and Ronald Jones combined for 40 points. Brock, what can I say about Brock's team? One player
Talk
over
about the bad luck bug.
over
Jesus.
10 points. Yeah, James White scored, I think it was 11.6. Other than that, he had all 8 players scored under 10. I'm not sure if there was under a specific number, but I know it was all under 10.
11.3, and then 7 was his next
High. So there you go.
No, I'm sorry, 7.5.
8 players under 7.5. Not going to win you too many weeks. He's lucky not to break the record of 40.5. Any thoughts on this one? I guess we can go with any thoughts on Alex's team. Is Alex in the driver's seat for a playoff spot? Is his team starting to kind of come together?
Heat
here?
up, yeah.
Yeah,
He only scored 91 points this week, and he had obviously a fantastic matchup.
it
but
sucks that
on
Mostert
paper,
went down already.
Yeah, Nixon got hurt too, right?
Yeah, he's
banged up
questionable.
right now,
Yeah.
too. So that's unfortunate, but I mean,
He was
he
hurt
does
going into
have.
the game as well.
Was he?
Yeah, he was banged up a little bit. I believe he had a designation going into the game.
You know, he does have Henderson and Ronald Jones to help if he needs them to be in that spot. So he's not screwed if he's missing one of them, but you know, it does stink that Mostert will be gone for a bit.
As
Also,
far- again,
fun fact: Ronald Jones and Patty Mahomes combined beat Brock. He literally only needed 2 players.
Did
What a rough week for Brock.
hold on? No, he missed it. I wanted to see if Derrick Henry beat Brock.
He's about to lose like 3 points.
39.4 for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it was like 3 points.
I'll get you next time.
We were talking
know-
about Brock's roster before we started. Does he have? He has a lot of injuries. Does he have any players to make a move? I mean, I know he needs wide receivers. Does he have anybody to move? Juju's not
I mean,
hitting
I think
this
he needs
year.
kind of both. Like
Running back and
He
wide.
doesn't have any. Yeah, he's
Jacobs comes back this week, so they'll fill in a little bit. But
still like flexing Edelman and.
I've been there starting James White, man. That's the one thing you do not
Yeah.
want to do when you're in seasons. Usually in trouble when you're starting James White.
Yeah, but he scored 11.3 again.
No, I know. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
if he's your
it's-
highest scorer, man, yeah, something's wrong. All right.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that's in need of like if there's anyone in the league that could maybe do like a depth move, I think it's
Brock.
We're gonna move on. Moving on to a East matchup. Shirts off, pants down. Went up against Average Joe's. Injuries. Coleman continues to be on the IR. Jones played. Ingram hurt. Going to be out. I don't know if he's going to be out for a little while. I'm going to buy this week actually. And Keenan Allen hurt going into the bye week. So I believe Matt brought that up before we started. So that's something to keep an eye on. For Bry, running back 2, hurt him again this week. Harris less than 4 points. Edwards-Helaire actually had a big day with no touchdowns. Scored a little less than 18. And Jones and Cook, Julio Jones and Brandon Cook combined for 47 points, I believe. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
on the dot.
For Tom Kittle, big day, a little less than 21. And Fuller, again, I keep talking shit all year on Fuller. A little less than 22 points, so another big day from him. Thoughts on this one? This one was close throughout, right? This one came down to Monday night.
He scooped up Christian Kirk too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Christian
sorry.
played him.
Yeah,
He
you know what? I
scored
forgot to write
20
that down.
he won.
That's what
Yeah.
it came down to. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that. Christian Kirk actually won Tom the game. 23 points, right? 22?
21 points.
21,
Yeah.
something.
You're welcome, Tom.
2 catches, 86 yards,
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
So going into that, I believe I
It's like the
forget.
Mike Evans, it's much more.
It's brutal.
More
Wasn't
yards.
his first touchdown like a 9-yard touchdown or something?
Yeah, it was a he caught like a 70-something yard pass, I think. It was a long one. I don't know the exact yardage, but
Yeah, I was just saying one of them was really short, and one of them was really the rest
Both of his
performance.
receivers did that this week. Darius Slayton had 2 catches as well. Just had a big touchdown.
That's right. All right, so now we're looking at this one. Bry had Everett Hilaire go early, and I
Yeah.
believe he had Zerline in the
Yep.
late game. Zerline didn't really do much, right?
Well,
two
yeah.
points.
Yeah.
It was close. That's what I mean. Like, even if he
Yeah.
got, not hindsight, but going into that, he's thinking maybe if I can get 7 points out of him, I got a chance to win this game with Christian Kirk
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Tom sitting at 3-3, Bry at 2-4. Nobody's out of it. Nobody's out of a playoff spot. Nobody's out of a bye in the East.
No.
Thoughts on these teams?
I feel bad. Well, I mean, it's going to be a little rougher for Brian because of Lev being there. We don't know what he's going to do to Clyde, so we don't know how that's going to affect him at all. I mean, Clyde had 161 rushing yards last week, which is bonkers, but that was the really sloppy game where he ran the ball like 26 times. So, like, I feel bad for him there. We still don't know what the hell is going on with Melvin Gordon. He's not getting suspended, right? Or whatever. He's not having the team's
He
not
practiced
suspending
today.
him.
He practiced.
Yeah, the team's not suspending him, so that's at least he's got that going for him. But and Julio Jones showing back up was really nice for him.
Did you see the post game joke that Julio played?
No,
The reporter came up to him and he kind of like held her off and started limping. He's like called the trainer over and he started like walking with him. He's like, "I'm just kidding," and then started walking off the field.
Is Joe's heating up? It's a question we ask every week.
that's the question he asks every week.
I think he asks himself every day.
He asks
Joe's
himself
heating
that
up.
every day. I mean, yeah, he had a really good week. I can't deny him that.
I believe it's 2 out of 3, right? A couple weeks ago, I think he put up one.
He's on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, he's on a 3-game win streak, but I know. Well, last week he put up, I believe, less than 100.
Like 150, I think,
2
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago. Yeah, and I think last week he only put up.
He beat me last week, right?
You're on 3.
You put up like 88, right?
I put up 88. He put up like.
Matt has had 3 under.
I've had
2 under 90.
291.
191.
It's cool. My bye weeks are done now, so the
All right, well,
players
we
that
already
are
talked
reliable-
about your team.
Yeah.
We already talked
Fuck
about your
you.
team.
Yeah,
We're
why
talking
you
about
then
average
why are
shows.
you bringing it
I'm
back
just
up?
comparing. We're talking about average shows right now. So
Sure.
Tom's heating up. That's basically what we can say.
Sure. Yeah, he's in second place right now.
How cool would it be to see Tom, Steve, and Charlotte make the playoffs?
It wouldn't be cool at all,
It'd
actually.
be awesome.
It really wouldn't be that cool
I think
at
I'm
all.
pulling for that to be the playoff.
That would suck. To be honest
That would
with
be
you.
super fun.
All right, we're gonna move on to
I would-
our
I would
last matchup. You would like that?
Oh yeah.
Shut the fuck up. The Polska Mafia going up against C Block's biggest loser. Injuries. Ertz got hurt during the game. He's going to miss some time. Sony Michel on the IR still. Mike Evans hurt going into the game, played. And Devontae Parker, same thing, hurt going into the game, ended up playing. For Tommy, this actually was basically, if you look at the matchup, it was the quarterbacks. I think they both scored right underneath 29.
Yes.
And then I think, Tommy had a really bad week. I think he scored 75 or 76 points, something like that.
Yep.
Tannehill scored a little less than 29 for Tommy, and then Diggs had a nice day, a little less than 14. For Charlie, again, the quarterback, Murray, a little less than 29. And then Robinson, a little less than 14. So they were the 2 big players on each team, and then it was kind of filling your roster from there, and Charlie ended up winning. Any thoughts on these 2 teams?
Charlie might have found it, again, we talked about it off air, but diamond in the rough with James Robinson and now DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift looked really good running the ball.
Adrian Peterson scored that touchdown. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, man, he's going to start getting some carries, and all of a sudden this kid came in, took over
Yeah,
that game.
he's with AP maybe not playing as much. He got the injury. Who knows what's going on with them? And then
snapped him.
Carry On is like,
Carry on's done.
yeah, who knows? They're
Um,
moving on from him. So
Anywhere looking at Charlie's
Carry
roster,
on,
anything he
my
can
way,
do
so.
to, again, the East is wide open. The East is completely wide open. Anything Charlie can do to improve, anywhere he needs to
he
improve.
he has depth at receiver. I imagine he's going to be looking to move one of them before the trade block.
Yeah.
Or trade deadline. Excuse me.
He's in a position maybe 2 for 1,
Well-
get somebody like a big name.
He needs a tight end.
Well,
And Mark Andrews.
bringing up trying to move one of them, Tua was announced that he'll be the starter in Miami now, and Charlie's been pretty much flexing Devontae Parker every week.
I would think that hurts Devontae Parker more than anything. Fitzpatrick slings the ball. As old as he is, he still gets the ball around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he gets his yards and all that. If anything, I think bringing in the rookie, which was really weird to me. I get it, but it was. I think they're 3-3. Like, you know what I mean? There's 17.
They
that
said it
make
was
the-
their plan all.
Yeah, there's 17 that make the playoffs. You should adjust your plan when you got a shot at.
They're only one game back too in the AFC East.
Yeah, right. And it's. I think what's it, the Bills? Or the Bills
Yeah,
are 4-2, right? Yeah.
4-2.
So you got them. The Patriots, I think, or whatever they are, 2-3 or
2-4.
2-4.
2-3. Maybe they had their bye, right?
So the guys put you in a nice position. I mean, like I said, I get the whole situation. Drafted the guy one, but I personally would have gave the guy another couple weeks just to see where things went. You know, he gets you to 5-3. How the hell can you sit the guy? I thought it was a little too early, but getting the Charlie's team, I think personally it's going to hurt him a little bit as far as Devontae Parker
So,
goes.
I mean, he doesn't have to play. He's flexing Devontae Parker because Michael Thomas has been hurt.
It's a nice move. It's a nice
So-
piece to potentially move. Though.
Yeah, if Michael Thomas
Yeah.
comes back, he flops them too. And then he has Lev Bell now going to the Chiefs. Philip Lindsay if Melvin Gordon's not playing. Nice pickup in Mike Williams. I really like Mike Williams, so you can always flex him in if needed.
Depth,
But
yeah, a lot of depth.
a lot, yeah, his team's looking good. And that's another reason why. I mean, if he can package his receivers together, or maybe even like a receiver and Robinson and upgrade the running back, or I mean, who knows?
Tommy's team. Any thoughts on where they're going as far as the next couple weeks? Who's he? I guess we'll get into who's he. Who he playing.
Tommy's been the talk of trade talks, but I don't know.
Zeke, or excuse me, not Zeke actually on the block. If anybody,
I disagree.
high end RB too.
I think he needs to move Zeke to have a chance.
I don't think he's going to move.
If he doesn't, then
He can get a haul. I mean, you can get a.
He can, yeah. He can get. You know,
Full
he
disclosure,
could
I
still
offered a
get-
running back, wide receiver, and tight end for him. I'm not gonna put the names out there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham.
He could like potentially grab like a running back too and
I have-
a wide receiver one for
The
Zeke.
problem with that is I have a tough time trading with Tommy because like I'll try to engage in talks and like of course I'll offer something. You can always offer something back, but it just always stops right there.
We get a lot of people in the league like that who just don't answer you, or they text you and ask you about a player and they ask you to make an offer, and you're like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps up week 6. We're gonna move on to Commission's Power Rankings.
All right. Little late in the day, so we'll run through them here. So coming in at number 12, the aforementioned Tommy.
Talking to Dan.
Polska Mafia coming in at 12, injury to the tight end, and just back with 4 losses in a row now.
Yes.
So number 11, Brian, also coming in with a 2-4 record, lowest points in the league. Number 10, I moved myself up to 10 from 12, so 2-step jump after the win over Matt.
Don't want to get too ahead of yourself, huh?
Yeah, well, I also just, it's 1 week of high points, you know. Realistic in these power rankings.
Okay.
Number 9, I did put Brock, where it's a pretty big fall here. Not because of only the 40-point game, but looking at his team, the injury bug got him good. He's
Depleted.
yeah, receivers are gone. If he needed Juju to be something, and it seems like he's not. Running backs are gone. He literally has Gibson's splitting carries now with McKissick, so got him at 9. Coming at 8 is Matt. 3 losses in a row, or 3 losses in a row. Dropped it down a bit. 7 is Jake, although a loss, still have you jumping over Matt there just due to the way the roster is looking right now. Number 6, big jump here. Was a 2-3 team jump here. Alex, he's putting together some wins and his team's putting up points. He's looking good. He didn't have as many points this week, but
I forget what his quote was, but I believe the playoff train.
the playoff train is en route.
Yeah,
Choo choo.
Choo. I'm sorry.
How many chews are the right amount of chews? 3, 2?
I believe he used 2, but
It sounded pretty good. Choo.
Choo Smith-Schuster.
Yeah,
Straight one.
it's a good teammate.
Charlie coming in, breaking the top 5. Got a big win, and he's got Tommy this week, I believe. Am I wrong there? Could be wrong.
Charlie
No,
just-
Charlie has
got
Matt this
big.
week. He had Tommy, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Tommy. He has.
He has Matt this week. So
So
we'll
another
see.
bye week.
See, number 4, Tom. Again, putting up a ton
Throwing
of
shade at me. You're
Matt didn't like
3
that.
straight wins. Number 3, we talked about it. Steve's team's looking legit. Number 2, still have Jose. Still the most points in the league. He's on a 2-game losing streak, but he's still, like I said, it's always scary staring down that high ceiling offense there for him.
3rd consecutive week.
I feel like you could just fucking leave
Pencil
it there.
him in. Still 6-0.
You can fucking pet him in. One of them is gonna pass him.
Pen him in. Not even give us the opportunity to erase it, huh?
As of right now, we're all for
Woo!
second. At least for like 4 weeks.
Well,
we're all
Mike
fighting
has.
for
Who do you
second.
have this week? You have
I have Tommy.
Tommy beats Mike.
Pet him.
What happens?
I go to 12.
Oh, they flip. Yeah, they just flip.
They
Yeah.
flip. All right.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. Find out next week.
All right. Well, that was Commissioner Power Rankings for Week 6. We're going to get into some league news. It's a light week for news. I guess we know we had no trades, so we're going to go to the Fab. Boston Scott was the big pickup of the week for $38. Justin Herbert, $17. AJ Green, $10, and the Browns defense $6 with a bunch of scattered, $1, $2, $3 bids everywhere else. You want to pick them up? Reasoning behind Boston Scott, or do you want to disclose that?
Yeah, I can disclose it. Jose is starting Josh Kelly and has some running backs I don't mind playing against on his bench. I don't mind if he's plugged in Fournette or Akers or. I just didn't want him to get Scott. I think Scott is playing against the Giants, can have a good game.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I knew that other people were going to be bidding semi-high,
Yeah.
so the idea behind 38 was I wanted him on my roster. Mike has 39 fab. If Mike wants to waste all of his fab on him, sure, he can have him. If not, I'm going to win the tiebreaker at 38. So
So it was strategic. Basically.
that's the
It was
number.
a strategic pickup.
It wasn't just like a 38
Yeah.
random number generated. Yeah.
Any thoughts on the other three? AJ Green going for $10. I would say he, right now, I know he had a nice week, but he's the third wide receiver on that team, right?
He had 8 receptions for like 89 yards, something like that. He was leading the league in air yards for a good
He was,
period of
but-
time.
Was he really?
Yeah, it's just they
He
can't
was just
connect.
like 1 for
Yeah.
9 or something.
So maybe that starts hitting. That's a good connection in there. And then Herbert for 17. Any good pickup?
I mean, he's been killing it. I don't know if I'd blow 17 on a rookie when it's not like in a redraft league.
Especially
But-
for a guy who's been, I think, waiver wiring.
I think Jose, I think he's just trying to set it in, like, tired of flipping
Trying to
quarterbacks,
pick
so he can find someone through his bye.
Yeah,
He
Jose-
just plug in every week.
He also had money to burn. He
He
had
did
the
have a
most
lot of
money
money.
out of everybody. He had like $20 on the second place guy. So him
Yeah.
spending 17, I think he's still in first.
All right, I think that's pretty much it for league news. We didn't have any real blow-ups in the group chat and anything like that. So we're going to move on. We got questions? Any questions this week?
I was just trying to pulse everyone for some more here. We have a few, not as many as usual, but
That's all right.
I'll start going through them. We'll get back to them. These come from this week, actually. It's an anonymous owner. We have...
Biggest fan, man. I love it.
A lot of these we touched on. He actually commented and said, look, it is rough coming up with different questions each week.
Can somebody else please send some in?
For the love of God.
I love
please,
that his
somebody.
name's anonymous.
Somebody help
we
me.
try to keep him anonymous.
Yeah.
We call him
We discussed average Joes. Are they really heating up? Do we think this is the year the average Joes not only make it to the playoffs again, but break through with that
No.
first win?
If I'm answering.
You're not good now? Okay. What do we think's holding that up? Do we think it's just the division or something will happen from now until the trade deadline, or just the owner, or the team
I
itself?
think we have a 4-year track record of Tom. Besides last year, really doing something. Not, I wouldn't say stupid, but drastic when sometimes he doesn't
trade
need to
deadline will
do.
come along.
Yep, trade
Something
deadline's gonna
drastic.
come along, and he's like, I need to make
I
a
need.
move.
I'm
I need to make a
Tom's
move.
sitting there going like that.
Well, back to AJ Green. Alex traded him to Tom for
And Mark Ingram.
And
for
Mark
Robbie
Ingram.
Anderson, and he just got him back for $10.
The fucking wheels
Exactly.
are always
That's
spinning.
the best part. Like that's why Alex. I think Alex spending 10 on AJ Green was fine because
I had
It's
admittedly,
basically-
I
it's
had
basically-
$4 on him.
I'd
AJ
five.
Green.
Yeah. So
To answer your question, no, I don't think. Like I said, I think Tom's going to derail this season for himself somehow.
All right, we
We're
have.
back to the norm.
Yep.
Sorry, I just had another question come in live on the show.
there you go. Something.
But
Is it from Anonymous again?
no, this is anonymous owner number 2.
Oh, there you go.
But we'll go back to the anonymous owner. We'll give him priority. He gets in every week, so we answer his questions first. He's like a top fan of the show.
Patreon supporter.
We talked about this as well, but do you think we'll see our first 13-0 team this year? I think we all said no.
I actually put a percentage on it. You kind of looked at me like I had 3 heads.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of hard.
I'd say under 10%.
Yeah. God, I hope not.
For the record, I don't think I'll
God, I
get it
hope
either.
not.
I'm gonna
I know.
try.
But I think
I
he
don't-
lines himself up this week to make it 7, and I think that benchmark will stick around for a while. If he can take anything out of maybe not getting to 13-0, it's the fact that I think his start to the season will be something that we look back at and that'll be standing for a little while.
I think he'll.
What would
he'll
be-
7?
Would you rather see Mike go
Yes.
undefeated and
Yes.
losing the first round, or undefeated losing his first round after the bye, or would you rather? Okay. I say we'd rather see
He
him,
makes it
and
to
we'd rather
13-0.
see him ended in the season.
He
somewhere.
makes it 13-0. I want him to get to the championship and lose.
Okay.
Because there's going to be more kicking the nuts.
All right, we have.
That's
So we
fucked
got
up, man.
Patriots.
We have the next question here from the next owner. This actually, we'll put tags on these guys. Comes in from Steve. What will be the final record of the East Divisional winner?
Someone will get the 8.
Just for everyone out
one-
there,
of
first
the one
place.
seed?
Yes, first place is a 5-way tie at 3-3 right now, with 6th place being 2 and 4.
So obviously it's very tight, like we keep talking about. Someone will get the 8.
Yeah,
I think they have
one
to. I
8 and
think
5,
like
1 7 and 6, and then
yeah, I
there'll be
think
2 guys at
the
6 and
laws of
7.
physics
That'll,
just say the way the schedule
that are gonna be
pans
triple
out that
points.
someone probably gets to 8 just because of that. But don't be surprised if 7 wins this division this year, and don't
7
be
wins.
surprised if 6 and 7 gets in the playoffs.
Do we see our first 5 and 8 playoff berth?
no.
I don't. I think 5 might be. We talked about. Matt said something earlier about if I'm 3 and 6, and I said, well, you're still in it at 3 and 6. So I think, at 3 and 6, you're still in it, but that would be a win out situation. Maybe,
More
like
or
I said,
less.
you
like,
got
yeah, you have 1 leeway game.
maybe depending
If-
on your
if-
points
if
and all
everything
that type of
falls
shit.
right,
Yeah. But yeah, 8. I would say 8 probably, but potentially 7. 7 could definitely. I could see 7, 7, 7, and 6 making the playoffs in the East.
Yeah, I don't know if
And then we have
I
that
don't know if
problem.
any of our teams are, because it's all
And
competitive.
then we're all gonna beat each other
we're
up.
all
Yeah.
beating each other up. I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
gonna have a chance at 9 wins.
No,
As
I don't-
of right now, who do you, like currently constructed? Who do you think? Who are the odds-on favorite to be that 8 and 5 team?
Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're just basing everything off
Yeah,
right,
Steve's. I think
Yeah.
I gave Steve like one of the worst rankings to start the year off, and as of right now, he has proven
So
me
does
wrong.
that-
He's made
His-
moves.
I
I
was
mean,
say
he's
that
made-
then
he's
puts him
made-
as a number 1 contender for owner of the year. If he,
oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I know Mike is going to be.
Yeah, I unfortunately this might be a year where.
Unfortunately, this
Yeah.
fucker.
No, I don't mean it. No, I don't mean you. I just mean unfortunately it might be a year where the guy just absolutely runs
Yeah.
away with it. It's not. We're not going to have any competition. But yeah, like the moves that he made, that could potentially set him up to be in that discussion for Chairman of the Year.
All right, we got a few comments, no questions. It's coming from Alex. He does want to reiterate that the greats are all aboard on the playoff train. And Steve, although you are making a push, you are not allowed on that playoff train. He states that, and I quote, "We do not accept passengers under 5 foot, you midget."
Steve, I just want you to know that everybody, and I mean everybody, is welcome on the Trump train. All right,
Jesus.
is that it?
That's all I got.
right. I
Are they
appreciate
playing
all
each
the-
other this week?
Alex and Steve. That's a good question.
Or is that just an unprovoked assault?
I
That
mean,
was that was a good one.
Steve
I like
and
that.
Tom.
Oh, they
Steve and
okay.
Tom
They are
play.
playing each other.
Okay,
all
okay.
All right, let's go,
That
Alex.
gets even better. All right, Alex, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate
Couple
all.
wins in, you, a little confidence.
Fucking right, dude. We appreciate all the questions and comments. We look forward to next week, and we're gonna take our break. 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back, everybody. Before we get into our Week 7 predictions, we had a few more questions come in live as we're doing the show.
Question.
We had a question come in live while we're doing the show.
Actually, a few.
We had a few questions come in live while we're doing the show. Right now, we are live doing the show.
Dick.
What is the question?
Well, there's actually a few questions, and it is: does Tommy? This is by Alex, also, by the way. He wants to know, Tommy, do you not like great deals? Are you not a proponent of making deals great again in America? After the Tommy Michael debate of 2020, where Dearness Johnson was sent to Tommy for Tyler Boyd, does Tommy not want Americans to have great deals? Apparently, rumors are Tommy's been receiving some not so great deals, but also some pretty even keel deals for Ezekiel Elliott and other players after saying they were on the block, and he just does not pay them any attention. But when Mike comes knocking on the door with Dearness
Oh,
Johnson,
here we go.
he immediately answers.
He is
Hello.
for Dearness Johnson.
So,
To answer, I guess, Alex's semi-question here, I would love to make trades great again. Any other questions?
I'd love to know Tommy's
Huge.
opinion. So if you want to comment below, greatly appreciate it.
Steve, I want you to know that we did receive a question, but we're not going to ask it because it was really stupid. So we're going to move on to our Week 7 predictions. All right. Starting off Week 7, we're going to start, as we always do, with my favorite team, the Globo Gym Purple Cobras, going up against Trinidad Pants Down. Joe, we're going to start with you, as we always do.
do always start here. I am going to go with. This one's actually really even for me, but I will. Because it's so even, I'm going to go with the way the seasons have been going. So I will go Jake. Take you. I think something bad. I don't know if Julio's. He doesn't really catch back-to-back touchdown games very often. So.
You get a little juju this week, Matt.
Julio.
I am going to go with Brian. Yeah. That's all.
It'd be nice for you.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all. Just Brian.
I'm gonna take myself. America.
Okay.
Ugh, Jake.
Yeah. Took me last week too, and you both missed. Slanik Sanitation going up against the Polska Mafia. Joe?
Hear me out. I'm going to go.
I'm sorry, before you continue. Tommy is a 10-point dog, projection-wise,
10-point
going into
dog.
this week, as the roster stand right now.
Alright, so Buffalo have the Jets this week.
Yes.
Diggs catching a touchdown will even out the Josh Allen Express here.
Okay.
I think this could be like. Could we see the first upset from Mike? I don't know. I feel like this is Henry's got Pittsburgh. Like everything's lining up. You know.
So right now, this is going to come down to another Monday night for Mike. He has the Rams defense Monday night. Tommy has 2 late games Sunday. Is Mike going to be in the game going into Monday night? Will it come down to the defense on Monday night? Or are we thinking Tommy routes him?
Nah, I don't think it's a rout by any means, but I think I think this game will be closer than everyone thinks. I'll go Mike just for my record's sake.
Okay.
All that, and he says,
Did you mark
Mike.
me down for
Dude,
Tommy?
this is 2 weeks in a row, man.
I think out loud.
Jesus.
It's going to be closer though. Give me Tommy in the points.
All right.
But
You'll take the 10?
I'll take Tommy in the
Take
points,
the
but I'll
11?
go.
Whatever it is.
I'll go Mike straight up.
Matt,
Yeah, I'm going to go Mike.
you got Mike?
Yeah, it's simple.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mike. Moves at the 7-0, and then hopefully that's it. America.
Come on.
Next matchup, B Block's finest going up against Alexander's Greats. We got a little beef going
Trash
on this
talk
one that I
going on.
really like. This is 2 different divisions going at it. So Kamish, who are you
We go
looking at this one?
Steve.
Steve in this one?
Yeah. I just think the matchups work out a little better. Mixon's a little banged up. He has Alex is losing Mostert like we talked about. So yeah, go Steve.
I think Steve has at least 2. It's Thursday night, which I hate. Yeah, so he has Wentz. He has Wentz this week. Wentz and Freeman going Thursday night, and then at 1 o'clock he has the 3, 4, 5. He's got a weird schedule of games. He's got his kicker last.
Yeah,
It
his
always-
kicker's last.
Yeah,
It
it
sucks.
sucks.
We also going to look. Alex doesn't have a defense in yet
Yes, that's
either. Alex
true.
is projected to beat him right now, and he still doesn't have a defense in.
Oh shit, Alex doesn't have a defense.
Alex
No,
does
he's
not
on
have
bye.
a defense in.
Yeah,
Alex
he's
is
picking
probably
up. So
going
you
to
add
be
in that
projected as a high
6.
threes.
Yeah, you added that. We'll say 6 because I think they're all light for defense right now. And Alex is a 8-point favorite. You said you like Steve. Who you like?
Alex.
Alex. I'm gonna go with Alex as well, and this is more of a hope. I think this is a pretty tightly contested.
Ironically enough, so we'll see where
Yeah, it's weird.
where's America go.
contest. America.
Upset and lock of the week, Steve.
Ironically enough, the 2 Western owners go east and 2 Eastern owners go west.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's almost like we're hoping.
No
Yeah.
bias on that.
No
right?
bias at all.
Both sides of the bond going up against Jose Hooligans. I believe I can say that this is our game of the week.
Game of the week?
Yeah, we're gonna go game of the week. Both
Is it
sides-
one of those?
Yeah, both sides of the bun and Jose Hooligans game of the week this week in week 7.
I need to win this. I don't need to win, but it'd be very nice if I win this game.
Add in the kick. Add in. What do you
Yeah,
want
I
for
need a
kicker?
kicker.
Alright, so add in 7 for the kicker.
Yeah,
Put you at about 4
point
point off.
off. Yeah. I think they're getting a little generous over here. Jose's projections with Kelly getting projected like 11 points.
Yeah,
but,
this is a little weird.
I'll take myself.
Mhm.
I think my running backs have some decent matchups this week, so we'll hope they carry me through.
Matt?
I'm going to go with Joe as well, especially because I think Matt Stafford's probably going to throw 6 touchdowns against Atlanta.
We
Yeah.
hope so.
Um,
All the Hopkins.
Yeah. Well,
I like the running back, so I'm gonna go Joe. I like the three running backs you got going there. America.
Give me Jose.
Hater.
All right, next up, Average Joe's going up against the Brock football team. Make sure everybody's got a roster in. Brock's missing.
Give me this lock.
Just a kicker.
Just a kicker, really.
Yeah.
Having 7. Tom looks like to be a 5-point favorite. Why the hell is everything so low?
because he has Rex Burkhead as his RB2.
He doesn't have any.
There's
points?
RB1 technically.
Oh,
Jonathan Taylor's on
out.
bye.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Jonathan Taylor's on bye and his defense is on bye.
All right, so we'll call Tom a 5-point favorite. Joe.
I'll go Tom, just because, like we talked about, Brock got hit really hard with the injury bug.
Yeah.
Although Rex Burkhead as your RB2 with Montgomery as your 1 is pretty gross. I don't feel super confident about that top.
Nah, and he's got Keenan Allen, who doesn't even have it. Does he
He
have
might-
designation?
He might not.
might
He's
not
questionable.
play.
Yeah, I think he's limited Wednesday's practice. I mean, even if he plays, you're not getting probably 14 points out of him.
Yeah.
Matt.
I'm gonna go. Can I pick none?
Tom be fishing for a running
Ty?
back. Tom, do you need a running back? Hit me up.
I'm gonna go Brock just because I'd rather have Brock win. I don't.
That's a good reason.
Solid analysis.
It's just
That's
it's just
I'm
a
glad we
gross
have you on
matchup.
the
I think
podcast.
between the two of them.
Great
Yeah.
analysis over there.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to go Brock, and it's what we just stated. The Burkhead, Keenan Allen things Tom got going on. And then Rodgers got a nice matchup against Houston this week. So
Crazy part is I'd rather start Kittle than any of Brock's receivers / tight ends, maybe even running backs. Like I think he's gonna outscore
Who is Tom's quarterback?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
this week.
San Fran.
America?
Gotta go Brock.
Brock. Right. It's like I'm in the upset pick here.
Go Tom.
Last matchup of the week, C Block's Biggest Losers going up against the Wissinoming Radskins. Everybody's got a lineup there. Looks like the Radskins are a 6-point favorite. Mish?
So, if Michael Thomas plays, I can't say that, but I'm going to go lock of the week, Charlie. I will give my reasoning, not because I hate your team, although they haven't been producing very well. I think Kyler Murray is going to have to throw the ball against Seattle. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Vegas has as one of the highest over-unders on the week. Hopkins will then also get involved. DeAndre Swift looks legit, and I think Detroit could be up big on Atlanta. He also will be involved whether they are or not. Robinson gets the Chargers, also a decent matchup for running the ball, and DJ Moore, I think, continues to. I think that's gonna be a high-scoring game as well. Carolina and New Orleans. Just so happens Charlie has 2 horses in that race, so.
None of that sounded any good for you, Matt.
No, not even a little.
Meanwhile, on that side, I mean, he does have Aaron
Meanwhile.
Jones against Houston, but he then gets. I mean, David Johnson's going against Green Bay. Not the best matchup. You got
Not the best player either.
Darren Waller on Tampa Bay.
What's everybody's beef with these?
Disrespect.
He's a running back 21. I drafted
That's
him.
terrible.
He drafted me my 3rd running back.
That's terrible, though. Well, you drafted me your 3rd running back, but in the 3rd round, so that's. I can.
This is in the 4th round. All right, relax.
Robert Woods gets Chicago. So
Matt?
So I got me as a lock of the week.
Ooh.
This is my bounce back week.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to get past week 6. That's all.
I'm going to go with Charlie for every reason Joe said. America?
Char by 10.
Char by 10. This is every and my lock of the week, I'm actually going to go with Mike. Just Matt? You gave
Took
me
myself.
in America?
Or what was the Irish Sim lock of the
We
week?
already said his name right.
yeah, he did.
Who?
It was
Brian? No.
no, I think it was yourself, right?
Uh,
We'll run-
no, was
We can run.
no,
the tape.
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, it was Steve over
It
Alex.
was
Steve
Yeah.
over Alex.
We'll run the tape.
It's alright, I can edit this.
There you go.
All right, that wraps up our predictions for week 7.
There'll be weird pauses and jumps.
Any final thoughts going into Thursday night?
I'll be watching the game here. If anyone wants to come over, you're of course more than welcome. But I think we've agreed we're.
I'm
gonna
taking
do
a week off.
Yeah, we're gonna do a week off.
Since the Birds are playing tomorrow.
Thursday night, yeah. But that does not mean that the league talks have to stop.
No.
One quick plug: the trade deadline is November 6th. 3 a.m. So technically, I mean,
November 5th.
unless you want to be awake all night. It is a Friday, so you can be up a little later going into Saturday.
Can we put our own cutoff on? Like I know to like.
No.
So ESPN.
No. I don't mean that. I mean I know ESPN has their set thing, but
I
Can
can
you
put
activate
trade
your players?
players.
no, I'm saying, but we can all like. I mean, this
I
is
get
something
what
we would
you're
have
saying,
to
yeah.
something we should do before next season. But instead of waiting till that, having the 3 o'clock, like we should have like an 8 o'clock deadline.
Yeah.
Like even though ESPN lets you trade after that up until 3 a.m.,
Yeah.
we should have a cutoff where we do it. You know what I mean? So people don't have to the late night thing and all that type
Yeah.
of shit.
But I will say that because it's 2 weeks from this upcoming Friday, so
Damn, it's going on quick.
moving. Yeah, time is flying by. We're already going into week 7.
Who
right?
hasn't made a deal? What
So,
teams haven't made a
4
deal?
teams haven't made a deal. 2 in the West, 2 in the East. Brock, Jose, and Brian.
Usual
and
suspects
Jake.
over there.
Jake's usually wheeling and dealing.
Yeah,
Brian.
maybe he's
Yeah,
asking a little bit too much this year.
Trust me, I'm not. All right, is that it?
I think so.
Ryan tried
Other-
to rob me last week.
May have some additional content coming this week. We're going to look to try to build out, speaking of trade deadline, a trade block, and maybe even play around with that website we were talking about. So
All right, keep
we'll put a link in the description if we get it.
Yeah.
Always wanted to say that.
Like, comment, share.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we will see everybody next week.
Yeah, go Birds.
Peace.
Go Birds!